If you want to shoot an external flash without breaking the bank on an entry-level DSLR like this one right here, which is the Nikon D3400, stay tuned and I'll conduct a deeper dive. This is going to be a relatively quick video on budget speed lights and flash triggers. Now, before we get going, I will say that I am not paid nor sponsored to promote or sell any of this equipment. This is just the equipment that I've used over the last couple of years, and it's worked well for me. I put out a video a few days ago regarding flash photography on entry-level DSLRs like this one right here, which is the Nikon D3400. We talked about using the built-in flash, and we put a speed light on top of this camera so we can get some better images using bounce flash and things like that. Well, that video generated some questions about where to get the flashes, what they cost, all that good stuff. So I thought I'd put together this quick video. It's not meant to do a deep dive on how to use the equipment. I can create some additional videos for that down the road. This is really just meant to give you a quick flyover on the equipment that I use, and I'm going to post the links in the description below on where to get this equipment. So with that said, let's go ahead and jump right in. Right here, this is the Neewer brand. It's called Neewer, N-E-E-W-E-R. It is model 750 Mark II. Now they make this for Canon as well, and they make it for Nikon and probably Sony. I'm not sure about the Sony side, but this is for Nikon. And this flash has worked really well for me. I've had no issues with it. It has TTL, which is through the lens, and we talked about that in the last video, and basically it allows the camera to talk to the flash here and let it know how much power to use to maintain a proper exposure. Now it also has a manual mode on it, slave mode, and some other stuff, but it's worked out really well for me. So I'm going to move right into the trigger. Now if you're saying, what is a trigger? What's it used for? Well, this trigger is mainly used so that you can remotely fire this flash. Now there's two ways to remotely fire a flash, and one way is with the trigger, the other way is with what's called commander mode. Now, not all entry-level DSLR cameras have that, and this one does not. So again, this is the Nikon D3400, the 33, 32, 31, they don't have it either, and I'm sure some of the entry-level Canon cameras do not as well. So what is the commander mode? Well, the commander mode leverages the built-in flash to send a pre-flash to alert your speed light to fire. Okay, that's what it is. So it allows you to fire the speed light off camera without a trigger like this. Now I've used it in the past with other bodies, and if the flash is out of sight, so it's behind a table, for example, or around a corner, it will not flash. And that's the reason why I went after some triggers. Now, this trigger right here is the Altura. Now the Altura, it comes with two receivers, which is what you see here. This trigger runs $30. So it's really not that expensive, and it's worked well for me. So again, this is pretty simple the way it all works. This right here is like a remote control. So this lets the camera send a message to the receiver saying fire the flash. That's pretty much how it works in a nutshell. So this just slides right into the top up here, and at that point it's ready to go. Now when you're in this configuration, you simply attach your flash to the receiver on the bottom, and by the way, the receiver comes with the little base plate so you can stand it up. Now there's other things you can do with this. You can put it on up to umbrellas and tripods and different things, but I'm just going to put it on the flash for now, right? So you basically turn this on, and I don't know how well we can see this on the back, but it gives us some options. And those options are to leverage TTL. You can go into manual mode where you can control the power of the flash. And it's kind of interesting. It really gives you some creativity with what you want to do with your flash. Now when you do this, you go into manual mode on your camera, and you set your shutter speed and your aperture, drive your ISO down to 100 or 200, and your camera's going to say, hey, it looks like you're really underexposed here. And that's to be expected because your camera is not aware of your off-camera flash. Now, I'm going to put together some other videos, which I'm going to do one probably in the next day or two, about really doing some cool stuff with an off-camera flash and using this Nikon D3400, and keeping in mind, Any entry-level DSLR can do the same thing that I'm going to show you in the next video. Stay tuned for that. It's going to be pretty cool. So that's about all I have right here. Now, we could get into more details about this equipment, but again, just a quick flyover. If you found this video helpful, be sure to give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't done so, subscribe to the channel. It's called Real World. Now, more often than not, I post videos about photography and technology, but I also post them about things that happen in the real world, such as automobile maintenance and home ownership. So until the next video, take care of yourself and be safe.